For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Pedestrian safety is a two-way street. Both drivers and walkers need to do their part to keep roads safe. When you're walking, remember, the drivers may not always see you, so remember to use these tips to continue to walk safely. Wear bright clothes, always use crosswalks, and obey signs. Lights and reflectors should be used. And finally, keep alert and do not walk distracted. This message brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. 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 Go hard, 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 go hard. Cause big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. Gotta get it in a big time way. Let's get it on the grind, head on the line. Gotta stay focused, gotta keep a sound mind. It's go hard or go home. Go long and go strong. Don't back down or give in. When it's tough, that's when we press on. Gotta dig deep, gotta dig in. Hunger for the victory, hunger for the win. Ready to make a play, let's get it in. Swag on point, yeah, swag on 10. It's go time, it's show time, it's my time in my town. Big time players make big time plays, but believe it's about to go down. Big time players make.
And we are live in the Talkback Live Network studios. Glad to be with y'all once again on a Friday evening for Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, in the building, in the place to be. Glad to be with y'all on this Friday, man. And, man, so much stuff going on this weekend, and I can't wait to dive into it and talk with y'all today. Once again, this is Talk Sports Live and in the building. Glad to be back this Friday. Was not on last Friday, but glad to be back with y'all again this week. And we got a packed show for y'all this week, man. So once again, y'all get on in, get comfortable. in your seats, and we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. For those of y'all that are just coming in, you're right on time because the show just started. So we're about to dive into a lot of things. Go ahead and hit that like button for me if you have not already, so we can get the party started, man. Show your support as soon as you come on in the building, as well as sharing this video as well. So be sure you do that also, man. So glad to be back on again. And we're going to get right into it, man. Big weekend coming up. NFL, college football. Had the Grizzlies preseason game finish up. The Grizzlies preseason finish up last night with John Morant with his most impressive performance of the preseason with 31 points. I believe it was 8 rebounds, 4 assists, something like that. Looked absolutely dominant, which is just what you want to see out of your superstar heading into the regular season next week. So can't wait to talk about that. But first, let's talk about something not pertaining to the Grizzlies, at least directly. And I want to start off with the Draymond Green story. Now, we all know Draymond has been at the top of the headlines for punching his teammate Jordan Poole in the face. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, Draymond Green, forward for the Golden State Warriors, noted big mouth as well, noted heart and soul of the team, to be perfectly honest with you. Outside of all the things that we all know, the city of Memphis does not. I guess it depends on who you ask. Like some people, I've talked to some Grizz fans that actually like Draymond and would like to have him on the Grizzlies, but a lot that don't as well. So he's a highly volatile figure, to say the least. But that volatility reached its ultimate height this past week or a week ago, whatever the timeline was, where the reports started to come out that there was an altercation between him and upstart shooting guard Jordan Poole in practice. First, it was just the word that, okay, so Draymond, Jordan Poole got into an altercation. There were rumors that a punch was thrown. Now, it goes from a rumor to the next day, the actual video dropping. And that was unbeknownst to the Golden State Warriors, unbeknownst to Draymond and allegedly Jordan Poole as well. A lot of people were shocked to see that video come out on TMZ Sports. And we got to see firsthand the violent nature of which this altercation took place. We already heard that it was violent, but when you actually get to see the footage, it kind of takes on a whole nother life of its own. What's good, everybody? Say hello to everybody. Frankie, Kelly, Leon, Verdell, Robert, some more y'all coming in as well. Carlos, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. And y'all keep on coming in the room. Y'all come in the room, hit that like button as well. Greatly appreciate it. But when you see, it's like when you hear a rumor about something, it's like, oh, okay, that sounds bad, right? Somebody tells you something. And then when you actually see it for yourself, then that changes everything. It changes your perspective. You actually feel like you were there because you got to see it firsthand. And that's kind of the case with this situation now, even for me. Because hearing Draymond gets in an altercation at practice, I'm like, you shrug it off. It's Draymond. I'm not shocked by that. It is what it is. You kind of brush it under the rug. And I'm pretty sure the Warriors were hoping to keep it that way. But now the footage is out. The world is talking. And it's becoming a whole nother situation. So now it's to the point where Golden State has the onus put on them by the national media and everybody else, by fans, by family of Jordan Poole, and everything else. Like, hey, this ain't right, man. We done seen it now. The world is seeing it now. I just saw the video on YouTube. It's got almost 5 million views. So everybody's seen it. What are you going to do about it? And the Warriors came out and said, well, Draymond, he's such an integral part of our culture, and, he's earned the benefit of the doubt, and this, that, and the other. And they decided to not suspend him. And before I go into the whole thing about suspensions and all of that stuff, I want y'all to see it for yourself. So a lot of y'all have probably seen this already. I'd be shocked if you haven't. But if you, whether you have or you haven't, here is the footage. I'm going to continue to talk because there's no audio with the footage. And this was clearly somebody within the organization that released this, because Golden State is still in the middle of an investigation trying to find out who did this. Some people think it's an intern in the video department. They got paid $100,000 or so by TMZ, or probably more than that, and ran away. You know, some people think Golden State leaked it on their own to paint Draymond in a bad light. I think that's an interesting conspiracy. But take a look at this. All right. All right, here we go. So here it is. You see the big red arrow where it says green. That's Draymond. He's real black individual, so you kind of have to point him out with that arrow because he kind of blends in with the background. Not to be funny, but honestly, he's real dark. So anywho, there it is. It's Draymond in the back right there. And you see him talking. And if you want to know who the punchee, the person that was punched, is Jordan Poole over here with the gray practice jersey on all the way to the left, on the far left of the screen. So you see them talking. You know, you see Draymond is approaching. And here he is. Now he's face to face, chest to chest with Jordan Poole. You see some of the folks are kind of like, okay, is Draymond being Draymond? There's one coach looking like, okay, break it up, guys. I don't think anybody expects it to escalate to the point that it did, but it did. There's Jordan Poole with the push, all right? Now watch what Draymond does from here. There's the punch right there. And then he breaks it up. Now they're going to show an even closer look. There's the approach. There's the push. There's the punch. Now that punch, here's one more time. Push. And look at the straight right. That is a violent punch. That ain't just a punch. He got fired on, as people say. You know what I'm saying? He got fired up. Fired on, fired up, and knocked out nearly. Some people say he was knocked out, literally. Now, I hear a lot of, when I'm watching the coverage and you're hearing a lot of these people in sports, they talk about, well, this stuff happens all the time in practice where teammates get into it. Look, you're not going to convince me. We can stop with all this right now. You are not going to convince me that teammates are out here knocking each other out in practice all the time. Stop it. No. Much as these athletes want to make themselves, especially basketball players, want to make themselves sound tough, it's like, well, this is a man sport. Yeah, you get some pushing and shoving, you get some grabbing, maybe, you throw in here and there. But to get stuck like that ain't happening every day. Stop it. That's not true. That right there was another level. And especially in today's time, maybe people are more sensitive to it, whatever you want to say. But I don't think in any time that would be acceptable. He knocked him out, man. He leaned that big 250-plus pound frame into that punch, straight into the jaw of Jordan Poole, and knocked out his own teammate. Now, I'm emphasizing on this because Golden State, as Frankie just put in the comments, Golden State elected to not suspend him, but to fine him. So I'm going to ask y'all this. If you're a family member of Jordan Poole, if you're his wife, or if you're his brother or family member or uncle or dad or mom, how are you feeling that Golden State, the team that Jordan Poole plays for, sacrifices for, all of this stuff is getting paid by, is an employee of, ventures to not really punish Draymond for knocking him out. And if you're Jordan Poole, how do you feel that your team elected to not suspend this guy? How do you feel if you're Jordan Poole even being on this team at all? Now, again, Jordan Poole's one of them guys. He worked his way up from the G League, became a big-time player for Golden State, and some people even argue that he's rising in importance up there to the level of a Draymond Green, or maybe even more important. Some wonder, was that the result, what caused the fight between the two? I don't know. All I know is, putting myself in his shoes, in Jordan Poole's shoes, I ain't going to be happy that there ain't no suspension going on. Now, Jordan Poole allegedly did say, when the team had a team meeting, from the sources that are coming out, that he didn't want Draymond suspended, and they just want to move forward. Now, to be honest with you, if I'm Jordan Poole, what else am I going to say? If you're going to come out kind of look like a crybaby and say, yeah, I want him suspended. Draymond has got seniority over you in that locker room. A lot of those players have played with Draymond longer than they've played with you. Even though a lot of people aren't taking Jordan Poole's side in this, and they should, because right is wrong and wrong is wrong. But are you in a position to sit up there and demand your teammate get suspended? I don't know. That's a weird spot to put somebody in. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Should he just want to let bygones be bygones and move on? Is that even possible after something like this? This is right before the season starts, by the way. The season starts next week. Golden State is the reigning NBA champions, reigning and defending NBA world champs. Starting a new season. They have the ring ceremony next week. And according to Golden State's coach, Steve Kerr, that was a motivating factor in not suspending Draymond, because everybody and their families are going to be in San Francisco for the big ring ceremony, and they don't want to disturb and suspend Draymond from that situation to keep him from getting his championship ring with everybody else. Should that even matter in this situation? You knocked another man out. Should that matter about the ring ceremony being disturbed? They fined him. He spent a week away from the team last week. A lot of people say, well, that's punishment enough. No, it's not. That's punishment enough. It's the preseason. He missed some practices. He basically took a week's vacation. They took some money from him now. A week's vacation, and he got to miss a few preseason games, and nobody wants to play anyway. And he gets to come back for the season. And there you go, Frankie, with the info. The Warriors play the Lakers on opening night on Tuesday. Yeah. So, I don't know. Give me your thoughts on this. How do y'all feel about it? Phone lines are open. 901-213-6020 is the number. If you want to call, I got the phone lines up and open. You can also leave some comments. I see several of y'all are hitting the comments trail as well. But what do y'all think about this situation, man? Draymond Green, Golden State, Jordan Poole. Do you think this can bleed over into the season? Can the relationship between this team and him ever be the same again? Or is this one of those situations that's irreversible, unforgivable, as some people are saying? I don't think anything, especially like this, is unforgivable. But I'm going to tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, the relationship will never be the same. You can't just knock me out and expect me to come back and eat dinner with you like everything's all good. I can forgive you, but I'm not about to, invite you, in my house and kick your feet up and chill type deal. or maybe you do. I don't know. I guess it depends on your perspective. What do y'all think? 901-213-6020. Whether y'all agree or disagree. Let me know what you think. Let me go back a little bit here. See some of these comments. What's good, Kelly? He says, I hope whomever leaked that video was paid very good because they will be gone if they haven't already. Yeah. He better got paid because, he ain't going to have no job with that organization if he didn't. No question. Carlos says, go GBO and go Grizz. Now, for y'all that don't know, GBO means go Big Orange and go Grizz. So shout out to you, Carlos. I'm rooting for the Vols as well this weekend. Frankie says, but the Warriors didn't suspend Draymond. Yeah, exactly. Good evening, everybody, says Greg. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Leon says Draymond has always been a hothead. That's true. Very true. Greg says if Poole isn't screaming from the mountaintop, then nobody else should be either. Well, interesting point, but does he have the leverage to scream from the mountaintops? See, here's another angle of this situation. Jordan Poole is in a contract situation with Golden State, meaning he could get up to, I believe, $30 million a year coming up, depending on how this year goes. As far as an extension, I think the rookie extension, whatever it is exactly. But he's got some money on the line. So do you think he feels this could interfere with that if he comes out one way or the other? If he comes out against Draymond, who's a veteran on that team, who's been there, won 4 championships, played with Steph and Clay and that coach longer than he has. Does he feel like he doesn't want to rock the boat right now? Who knows? Jet says Jordan wants to squash this as soon as possible. He's about to get paid. Yeah, man. I didn't even know that was your comment, Jet. I really didn't. But you're right along the lines of what I'm thinking. He's about to get paid. Until then, you ain't going to hear a peep from Poole. So you're thinking along the same lines. Shout out to Bob. Bob's giving the call-in number, in case y'all don't know, 901-213-6020. Jet said that's more the reason why I would have suspended him. He can't be there. Not team behavior. And I read that one with Frankie with the Warriors playing the Lakers on opening night this coming Tuesday. Verdell says, if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm waiting on Draymond after practice with a bat and bopping Dre in the kneecaps. Well, hey, I can't knock you. I don't care what your belief system is. When you get punched in the mouth, it's on. If I'm not knocked out, it is on. It's on. You're going to have to tear me off of you if I get popped in the mouth like that. That is ultimate disrespect. Matter of fact, a lot of people feel like Jordan Poole shouldn't have let him even get up on him like that without punching him first. Should y'all let's look at this one for a second, and maybe it's a trivial, but if you're Jordan Poole, and let me go back to the video. Let's go back to this for a minute. You're Jordan Poole, and this situation is going on. Should you allow, as a grown man, should you allow this dude to get this close up on you without doing something? Clearly, they're talking vicious trash, right? And you see Draymond walking up, and you see him walking up. Now, at this point, I'll freeze it right here. At this point, you know something's going to happen. Because Draymond is trying to intimidate you physically by walking up slowly, basically stalking right up in your face. Jordan Poole sees him. He still got his hands on his hips. Should he have retaliated? Some say he should have retaliated first. Get the first blow. I don't know. Draymond gets all the way here before Jordan Poole pushes him. And the funny thing is, funny or not, You see Jordan Poole pushed him, but Draymond didn't even go backwards. Who went backwards? It was Jordan Poole. He pushed Draymond. Let's look at the instant replay to get full analysis of this here. Look at the push from Jordan Poole. He pushed him and pushed himself back 6 feet. So at this point, if you're Jordan Poole, do you just run away, or do you just try to stay like a man and at least have your bearings about you? I don't know. But whenever you push somebody and you the one that get pushed backwards, it's probably not a good sign. And then there you go. There's the punch. Here's the closer look again for those of y'all just joining. There's the push, and there's the punch. And you see he immediately slumped. So here it is one more time, slow motion. Push himself backwards. Punch. Oh, that's rough, man. That's a violent punch. That's you know. Is that something y'all could forgive, or is that something y'all could move on? Vicky is saying, "Stop it, Josh." I'm sorry, Vicky, but these are things that need to be pointed out. When you push another man, and he's the one that goes back, and you don't. Fortunately, I have been in a situation because, you know, as a big guy, I've had somebody push me and they go backwards and I don't. That's a good feeling. Yeah, at that point, you feel pretty good. And usually the other person is not as eager to fight as they were initially. And I can almost see the look on Jordan Poole's face once he pushed him. He's like, oh, snap. Okay. All right. But he didn't even give him time to think. Jordan hit him. Draymond smacked him with a straight right hand. Jed says, I think he thought it would be a standard NBA practice tussle. Yeah, see, look, even in games, right? You don't see people really fighting in the NBA like they used to do back in the day. You know, people getting hit in the throat and thrown and suplexed on the court, you know, back in the 80s and 90s. Clothesline, super kicked, all sorts. It was Bluff City Wrestling back in the NBA back in the day. But nowadays, it's not like that. Usually it's a lot of pushing and shoving and talking. You know, and I don't think Jordan Poole expected a punch to the face. So, I don't know. Vicky says she loves Jordan Poole, by the way. So, I know, Vicky, you were sad. How sad were you to see this whole thing happen? Let me know. Got another comment. Greg says, I'm not understanding what his upcoming contract situation has to do with his reaction to Draymond's punch. It ain't like he is snitching on teammates, gambling, or having loose women running in and out of their hotel rooms without permission to get a snitching rep. I don't know. Well, I don't know the details that deeply, what they got going on in hotel rooms. So I don't know. Vicky says sucker punch. He didn't expect his teammate to go that far. Yeah, I agree. Who expects your teammate to knock you out? No, nobody expects that. Jet says maybe he can hire Zach Randolph as security. Hey, well, Zebo, we know he don't bluff. He don't bluff. Vidal says Jordan Poole does have a punchable face. Yeah, I cannot deny there were times when the Grizzlies were playing the Warriors that, you know, I'm not going to say I wanted somebody to punch him in the face because he does do a lot of talking. But, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. But he's good friends with Jaren Jackson. If y'all don't know, Jordan Poole, Jaren Jackson go back. Jaren Jackson was at Michigan State, and Jordan Poole was at Michigan. So they were rivals, but at one time they were roommates as well. And work out together in the offseason quite frequently leading up to their NBA draft. And even now, they still hang out and are very friendly with each other. So, interesting. I don't know. But to me, well, let's look at something else here in relation to this. And again, 901-213-6020 is the number if you want to get in and talk. Now, in case y'all didn't know, Draymond did apologize. He did apologize in a press conference. And I have the video right here in case you want to see it. And I want to get your thoughts on this apology because I have thoughts on this apology. So y'all take a listen and tell me what you thought about Draymond's apology to Jordan Poole and the organization.
I was wrong for my actions that took place on Wednesday. And for that, I have apologized to my team. I have apologized to Jordan. And, I wanted to take that a step further, with the event yesterday, with the video leaking. There is a huge embarrassment that comes with that. Not only for myself as I was the one that committed the action, the embarrassment that comes for me is what it is, and that's something that I have to deal with. But the embarrassment that Jordan has to deal with, and that this team has to deal with, that this organization has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. His family saw that video. His mother, his father saw that video. And quite frankly, if my mother saw that video, I know how my mother would feel. I know what her I know what her reaction would be, and I know what her next step would be. And so for that, I apologize to his mother and his father and, his family, his friends that care for him, because that is a sense of, or a level of embarrassment that they have to deal with too. I apologize to this organization. We just won a championship. In 9 days, 10 days, there will be a ring ceremony. My family will be here. His family will be here. I'm sure they'll be here. And quite frankly, that's an elephant in the room. That's something that, it's weird, and on a night where it should be celebration and love, and it still will be. But there is like this dark cloud in the room, and I caused that, so I apologize to his family and just what they've had to deal with over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours. And I will do what I have to do to make that right.
All right. So he says he's going to do what he has to do to make it right. Okay. I'm going to go back to a certain point. There was something that was interesting to me in this. It was somewhere around the middle.
So Jordan's family, is what it is, and that's something that I have to deal with. But the embarrassment that Jordan has to deal with, and that this team has to deal with, that this organization has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. His family saw that video.
Man, Jet, you keep reading my mind with your comments. You keep doing it. You are too correct with everything you're saying. That's exactly why I went to repeat that same part. Jet, you are messing up my flow. I'm just playing, man. But you are reading my mind with your comments. How would you feel? How would you feel if you get knocked out by your teammate, and then you hear that your teammate apologized in front of the media to everybody? You say, okay, let's see what he had to say. And he gets up in there and says, this was embarrassing. It embarrassed him. His entire family saw this video. His mom saw that video. His parents saw it. His wife saw it. He saw that video. How would you feel if the man that knocked you out gets on national TV and says, hey, I'm sorry I knocked you out in front of your kids, your mama, your daddy, your teammates, and the whole world? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that the whole world now gets to see that I knocked you out. I am so sorry. I will never, ever, ever knock you out in front of the whole world, your mama, your daddy, your kids, your uncles, your aunties, ever again. Will you forgive me for knocking you out in front of your uncle, your parents, your mama, your kids, so on and so forth? It's like, man, what are you doing? What type of apology is this? Am I crazy? Or is he crazy? Or is everybody crazy? I don't want no apology like that. I feel like you're rubbing it in. What are you doing? Man, I'm sorry your parents saw me knock you out. Man, I knocked you out. What? No. That's not okay. And again, I guess Draymond got a lot of friends in national media because I'm hearing people say he was clearly apologetic and he was clearly sorry for what happened. Did y'all hear the same thing I did? Okay, hold on. Hold it. Let's listen to this again.
That Jordan has to deal with, and that this team has to deal with, that this organization has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. You know, his family saw that video. His mother, his father saw that video, and quite frankly, if my mother saw,
look, okay, why are you telling everybody? Why? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Why are you telling everybody, man? His mama and his daddy saw that video. His whole family saw that video of me knocking him out. And I'm just so sorry that your whole family, and I want all of you in the media, I want all of you in the media to know that his whole family saw this. All of them. All of y'all saw it too. 5 million people saw it. I'm sorry. No. I'm not buying it. I don't know, man. Let me see his comments here. Verdell says Jordan Poole's parents told him he better go back. He better go back and knock him out, or they gonna knock him out. Oh, so you're saying Jordan Poole's parents threatened to knock him out too if he doesn't go knock Draymond out? Oh man, I hope that's not the case because Jordan Poole's getting bullied all over the place. Oh, that is funny, man. Jordan, in case y'all didn't hear that, Verdell says Jordan Poole's parents told Jordan Poole he better go back and knock Draymond out, or they gonna knock Jordan Poole out again. Vicky says this is Green's last year. He's always been a loose cannon. Yeah, Draymond's on the last year of his deal as well. So again, you never know how that might play. Let's see what else here. Jet says, seems like he's taunting Poole. Yeah, this is the comment I was referencing. It literally came up right when I was about to make that point, but you're so right, Jet. It says, seems like he's taunting Poole, like you should be embarrassed. Nigga, your whole family saw this. But tell them to nuck if they buck too. Oh, yeah. Well, hey. The family, look, and here's the weird thing, and even Draymond addressed this here. Both families are going to be at the ring ceremony. The families of all these players are going to be there. So that green room where the family is going to be at is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I don't know. Vicky says Draymond is arrogant. He will never change. He needs to seek help. I guarantee you he wouldn't hit the average brother in the face. Okay. So, Vicky, you saying Jordan Poole isn't the average brother? Oh, no. All right, GKP. It says Facebook use, but I know that's GKP. He says, y'all already know who it is. What's good, Josh? People, I'm out celebrating. You celebrate. He said, but I had to drop in so the bishop can stop letting me know the show is on. He says, I got to check in on my daughter's birthday, Bishop, and my 30-year class reunion. He said, this guy here. Oh, man. GKP. Appreciate you checking in. Man, y'all are something else. All right, Jet says, Here's a quote from Draymond from says Jet. Man, I'm sorry that your whole family saw me knock a patch of hair out your head. I mean, your daddy saw it, your mama, your greasy grandmammy saw it as well. That's basically the way I feel Draymond is right here. Frankie says Draymond's mother is already taken up for him. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Let me know. I'm going to see if I can find that. Let me know what she's saying. I know she has been notorious on Twitter in the past for some different things taken up for Draymond from some years ago. But I don't see how she could take up for him. And again, I don't know what was said. It had to be something that really ticked him off to get you to punch your own teammate and knock him out like that. Something personal had to be going on. It can't be because you didn't pass me the ball. There had to be something more than that. But what's ironic about all of this, and I ain't heard nobody say this. I saw Steve Kerr, who is supposed to be the chief morality officer. And that's not a real position. I made that up. But I say that because Steve Kerr was the number one dude in the playoff series against the Grizzlies, getting on TV in the press conference saying, there's no place in our game for this. There's no place for Dillon Brooks to be fouling people hard and trying to hurt people. We shouldn't be trying to hurt people. Basically calling Dillon Brooks a dirty player. To the point where some fools in Memphis fell for it as well. I still didn't buy that it was really intentionally dirty. I think it was hard. It was a hard foul by Dillon Brooks. You remember the controversy in the playoffs last year? Dillon Brooks fouled Gary Payton Jr. going to the basket, a hard foul. Gary Payton Jr. falls to the ground and breaks his elbow. You really think he tried to break his elbow? But that same coach, the reason I'm bringing this up, the same coach for the Golden State Warriors that wants to do all this talking, now he ain't got nothing to say. Now he says Draymond means a lot to our team. Well, I think that was dirtier than this. This was dirtier than that situation. You got a guy trying to knock out his own teammate, and you say, well, we don't think we need to suspend him, though. Okay. It's very interesting. Try hit me again, GKP. I got the phone up. I'm not sure why I don't hear it here. I see the missed call here. Hit me back up one more time, GKP. I got you. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Let's see.
Call from JGKP Worths. To accept.
All right, GKP, I think we got you, brother.
Man, y'all already know who it is, man.
I think so.
Okay.
I got call ID. Yeah. What's up, man?
Come on, man. Will you tell your pops? I mean, he don't watch my lives. Okay. I mean, he don't look at my post. Okay. Did he not tell my daughter happy birthday today? Okay.
Yeah. I saw it.
I mean, this guy here, man. I got my 30-year anniversary. I was having my boulder bath. You know, women might call it bubble bath, but I don't want to hear no man talk about he was having a bubble bath. I was having a boulder bath, okay?
Hold on.
Boulders make you stronger.
First
not bubbles.
First of all, you say boulders, that means you bathing in dirt and rocks. I don't know if that's any better than bubbles. I don't know.
The boulders make you stronger, okay?
Okay.
The bubbles make you something else. Have some boulder baths. Okay, you just have to understand the way it's set up, okay? But the rocks are comforting, okay?
Okay. You just I ain't gonna say what I'm thinking. But anyway, look, I'm gonna say this. So you telling me right now, speaking of manhood, you calling me from the tub. Is that what you're saying? You in the tub right now?
No,
on the phone with me.
I got out and
okay.
I had to wipe myself down and dry off as I was getting ready for the second leg of my night.
Okay.
But the whole time I'm trying to enjoy it, You know what I'm saying? All I'm hearing is, I'm saying, okay, what's going on? So I look over here and it says, Bishop Bob has shared a video with you. Okay. How many times, brother? Okay. Wow.
Hey, man, we got to get the word out, man. You know, that's how it is. I'm just glad, first of all, you ain't got to give me the details of you wiping yourself down on a Friday night. We don't need to hear all that. But I understand. I appreciate you hitting me up, you know what I'm saying, after your boulder bath.
Well, honestly, I don't wipe my own self down. You know, I am the king of the moon. Okay? So you know how that works. Follow the pedals, my brother. Okay?
I don't know nothing. All right, Leon says, oh, Lord. Vicky seems to know.
Tell Leon the Lord ain't got nothing to do with this right now. Don't go bringing the Lord into a conversation of devilment. That's what we got to stop doing. I don't mix the two, okay? I'm on my devilment right now. Can he tell?
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Hey, Vicky seems to already know who it is.
Yeah,
so
she should. Vicky, okay? Simple. Listen, that's why I'm on here. I see you got Draymond's picture up. If it was me, it's on site. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Ain't no more teammate. Okay? Ain't none of that. You don't hit me like that and then get to go out here and think you gonna have me no pass. That ball will hit you straight in your mouth every time I see you. One of us got to get off the team.
That's it.
Simple.
I don't even blame you, brother. I really don't.
There.
You get hit like that.
Kid like that.
Nah.
It was dirty. It was wrong. It was dirty. Yeah, the kid shoved you off from coming sweating and spitting all in his face. You don't go and hit the brother like that. Okay? And I agree with you. No, he wouldn't hit nobody on the street like that. Or even if he would, I guarantee you the response going to be different.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm telling you. Real talk.
Don't hit nobody like that. Total disrespect. I don't want to hear no apologies. Ain't nothing you can say to me unless you're going to stand there and take one back.
Hey, look, here's the thing. Now, Frankie said the elephant in the room. She said, Draymond is mad because they ain't going to replace him with a light-skinned brother. Now, I don't know if this got any underlying situations going on. I don't know.
Frankie, stop that. No, Draymond is ultimately trying to go to L.A. Everybody wants to be a LeBron hang on her or think, this, that. I don't know what it is about it. LeBron got a few more years in the league and he's done. I don't know why people ain't following, my guy, somebody who's going to be around for about 10 more years dominating. Okay?
You ain't talking about Kawhi.
Man, come on, man. You already know who I'm talking about.
You talking about the guy that ain't played in about 5 years? Is that who you talking about?
Oh, wow. I can't believe the things that come out of your mouth sometimes. This guy here. A guy can't play if he's injured, man.
I know that's the problem. I ain't seen that man in so long. I saw him in the preseason. I'm like, who is that? But then I saw his hand.
Oh, you already know who it is. And the league does too. Okay? Just watch. Don't believe me. Just watch.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to see him and John Wall. A couple guys have been disappeared for a while. We're going to see.
John Wall is just one of them. We're not, hey, we're so deep that, names don't mean a thing anymore. I don't even worry about names because any one of them we pull up can get the job done. Okay.
We'll see. I don't know if y'all come to Memphis this year, but we're gonna see how it is if it go like last year and when we whooped y'all, So we shall see.
On. Listen, haven't we had this story for many years from San Antonio to the Clippers with the Grizzlies? Okay, we already know who the Grizzlies are. No one is gonna worry about them. Okay. Ja Morant will look good. They'll look good during the regular season and postseason. Hey, if they get there, they'll be ousted within the second round. Simple.
We'll see. We shall see, man.
Is there anything else you need from me?
Anything
else you need from me?
You called me fresh out the bubble bath or the boulder bath.
The boulder bath.
My bad.
Don't hear no man talking about he took no bubble bath. You slap him like the guy Draymond did at Jordan Poole. Okay?
Maybe that's what happened.
Boulder bath.
Okay, Boulder Bath. All right, so
Hot stones. You may not, somebody out there might know what I'm talking about. They may call it something else at the spa, but I call it a boulder bath. Okay.
All right. Well, that sounds hard and painful, but nonetheless, I feel you. I feel you. Hey, man.
No pain, no gain.
Okay. All right. No pain, no gain. But hey, we appreciate the call. Verdell says Clippers fans take bubble baths, so he just wanted to let you know before you.
Yeah, Verdell, I give him a pass because he's a Cowboys fan. But any other person that say things like that to me, I'd have to make them block themselves.
Okay, we gonna see.
Yeah, I already know who it is.
All right, man. All right, you get ready for that game this weekend. All right, know y'all Cowboys getting ready for that game. Eagles, Cowboys, big game. Also, happy birthday to GKP's daughter as well, man. Definitely shout out to that. Vicky says that as well. So definitely appreciate that. All right, y'all. So that's the situation with Draymond. Again, and let me go back a little bit here. Jet says you're right. Hypocrite, Josh. Yeah, that's true. The hypocrite being Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. This is the same guy that got up there and called Dylan Brooks a dirty player. And that the Grizzlies are wrong for allowing him to do what he did. But Draymond can punch one of his own players in the face. And he'll say, well, we got to give Draymond the benefit of the doubt. We love him. He's an integral part of what we do. Yeah, he's so integral that he did this right here. This is what you call integral. Integral part of the team. A team leader. Look at that. Look at the team leader. Look at the team leader. Giving them some helpful advice. Face to face, I guess. Maybe he's giving them some fighting tips. I don't know. But anyway, that's the situation. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes down following this season. This is why, one, I don't think the Warriors are going to repeat for the title. I think they had a chance heading into the season, but I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon. It's not. Maybe later in the season, but between Jordan Poole and Draymond, ain't nothing. This ain't going nowhere. So that's going to do it for this situation. I got some more to talk about when we come back. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, but when I come back, we're going to talk about some other things going on in the world of sports. So y'all stay tuned. This is Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Joshua Mitchell. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we'll be back.
I'll watch y'all come.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You're going to pick that phone up one day and that girl going to be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or a mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
And welcome back to the show, Talk Sports Live, right here on Talkback Live Network. I'm your host, Joshua Midgett, in the building, ready to talk some more sports, man. Glad that you're here with me on this Friday night. Appreciate all the comments, calls already coming in, and more. Got some more stuff to get into, man. Big stuff going on. Leon brought it up. Go Tigers. Let's get the win Saturday night. I am looking forward to the Memphis Tigers versus the East Carolina Pirates this weekend. Y'all let me know what time the game is. I guess that shows how excited I am. I don't even know what time the game is. I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I talk about being excited for stuff this weekend, my Titans are off this weekend. They have to bye, so they don't play. I actually am looking forward to Cowboys-Eagles. The Eagles are undefeated. That's a rivalry game. Cowboys are 4-1, looking pretty good. Some people think they have the best defense in the NFL. They look pretty good on that end. Looking like Cooper Rush is probably going to start again for Dak Prescott. It's going to be interesting to see how that situation unfolds this weekend. Eagles looking at the peak of their powers, as strong as they've looked in a long time. So that's going to be a big game coming up Sunday. And coming up Saturday, big game, Tennesse, Alabama, in Knoxville. You know that's going to be a sellout crowd. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit here as well. But first, I want to talk about a little bit of something else that's been controversial in the world of sports. And a lot of this was from last week. But it's kind of bled into this week, too, because I saw something that was spread on Twitter about this individual I'm about to put on the screen that was completely misleading. I'm going to show y'all how they do people, and in particular, how they do us, black folks. Us meaning me, because I'm black, so black folks. But first, let's show y'all who I'm talking about. Primetime, Deion Sanders, Jackson State University head coach, doing a great job with Jackson State. Came off a big win last week against Alabama State, coached by Eddie Robinson Jr. And if you don't know, there was a big old, situation between Deion Sanders and the head coach of Alabama State, Eddie Robinson Jr. At the end of the game, Jackson State beat Alabama State at their homecoming. Alabama State scheduled Jackson State for their homecoming. Jackson State, one of the best teams in the HBCU area. They felt some type of way about it, but they went out and played. Jackson State beat them. I think it was 26-16. And after the game, there was a bit of a situation between the two head coaches. You know how the coaches come in midfield and shake each other's hands. Well, Eddie Robinson Jr. was feeling some type of way about Deion Sanders trying to shake his hand and hug him. And basically put his hand on his chest like, hey, get off me. Then Deion pushed his arm. And they were separated, and they both had some words after in the press conference about each other that were quite interesting. So before I dive into it, let me show y'all this, kind of a summary of the events involving this situation that was rather unfortunate, but this kind of covers the whole thing. So y'all take a look at this and tell me what you think. And we're going to come back.
The Tigers then extended the lead on a 16-yard pass from Shador to J.D. Martin midway through the fourth. Shador threw for over 200 yards in the ball game as Jackson State wins 26-12, sending the Hornets and their coach into a rage against the Tigers.
There's the ball, baby. Appreciate you.
What was that? All right, Coach. What's good? Me being up front is just like I thought it was a lot of disrespect the whole week. And so you're not going to be disrespectful the whole week in the media. We didn't talk in the pregame. I was out there the whole time at the 50-yard line. He walked through our whole our whole huddle on our end zone and came a long way around to get to his side of the field in the pregame. Thought that wasn't classy at all. And so in the postgame, I'm not about to give you the Obama bro hug.
I think he thought he was going to get a win. I don't know why he would have ever thought that. I did hear his interview where he said that I came out and ran around the field. All of the people that's been with me for years, and even playing in the NFL, I always come out the locker room and run around the field. That's my tradition. That's what I do. That wasn't nothing personal to invoke any riotous act against them. That's not who I am. That's not what I stand for. That's not what I'm about. Secondly, he also said I didn't come to greet him in the center of the field. I don't know if you understand. We got here very late. So that expedited our whole process of preparation. So now we were in like, let's go get it. And I'm not one to go find the coach.
He ain't swag. You know, I'm swag. He ain't swag. So he's in the conference and doing a great job. Can't knock that. Got a great team. Son should be up for the Heisman Trophy win. I love Shador. Great player. I love what he's doing for the conference. Probably one of the best things we had since in that Steve McNair era when he was in there. Love all of that. But you're not going to come here and disrespect me and my team and my school and then want to bro hug me. Shake my hand and get the hell on.
Now, just explain a little bit. The guy you saw talking, that's Eddie Robinson Jr., the head coach of Alabama State. This is after their loss in their homecoming game to Jackson State. Both of these you see back and forth from their separate press conferences. Now, when Eddie Robinson Jr. says he ain't SWAC, that means it's Southwest Athletic Conference, which is the conference that they're in. So basically he said Deion ain't SWAC, even though he has the best team in SWAC and his son is the best quarterback in SWAC and they have the best record in SWAC. Said Deion ain't SWAC. So that's it. Interesting. So let me go back a little bit. Yeah, here it is.
He's doing for the conference.
And I'm not one to go find the coach.
He ain't SWAC. You know, I'm SWAC. He ain't SWAC. So he's in the conference and doing a great job. Can't knock that. Got a great team. Son should be up for the Heisman Trophy win. I love Shador. Great player. I love what he's doing for the conference. Probably one of the best things we had since in that Steve McNair era when he was in there. Love all of that. But you're not going to come here and disrespect me and my team and my school and then want to bro hug me. Shake my hand and get the hell on.
I think I was a darn good salesman leading up to the week. Did we sell the game out? Did we sell the game out? Yes or no? Had they ever been sold out here? So I thought I did my job. I thought I should be applauded. Really?
We handshaked and that was it. I mean, it ain't no need for no embrace. You know, we ain't friends. He ain't never called me. I ain't never called him. Great player. Everybody wants to be primetime as a little kid. All right, great player. All of that. Played against him. Got tons of respect for the guy. Doing a great job as a coach. But you can't do all that stuff all week and then you come back, put your backup quarterback, and you want to run a hitch and go to try to put more points on the board.
You got to understand, we put a backup quarterback in, and that kid works his butt off, and they're blitzing.
So here's another thing, and y'all call in after this video, if you don't mind, because I know it's gonna ring and it's gonna ring over the video. So, but I do want to take y'all calls, but hit me up right after this video plays. But just to explain what they're talking about, Alabama State's is coach was saying, "Hey, look, you know, they talk about all this respect, but yet they got the lead." And late in the game, they're still trying to score. He's upset that Jackson State was still scoring when they had the game won. And Deion offers an explanation of that as well. Let me go back to that point so y'all can get an understanding of everything that's happening.
Oh, I thought I should be applauded. Really?
We handshaked and that was it. I mean, it ain't no need for no embrace. We ain't friends. He ain't never called me. I ain't never called him. Great player. Everybody wanted to be primetime as a little kid. All right, great player, all of that. Played against him, got tons of respect for the guy, doing a great job as a coach, but you can't do all that stuff all week, and then you come back, put your backup quarterback, and you want to run a hitch and go to try to put more points on the board.
You got to understand, we put a backup quarterback in, and that kid works his butt off, and they're blitzing. You got 9 in the box, and they're coming. So I got a running back that just got in the game. He's cold, and they got 9 in the box, and they're coming. So don't I want to protect my players as well? And what about the countless number of timeouts that you just called? Tell me something as a coach. So when the other team is trying to score on you, you don't supposed to try to score on them.
You got the W. Great job. I hope he comes back next year. I pray he don't get a Power 5 job so we can play them next year in Jackson. And I pray they put us for their damn homecoming.
One of the comments that kind of disturbed me out of all the comments, that I'm not swag. Who is? I got time today. Who is swag? If I ain't swag, who is swag? If I ain't swag, who is swag? If I ain't swag, who is swag? Baby, who is? I wake up trying to bless somebody, inspire somebody, encourage somebody, help somebody, motivate somebody, get somebody to the next level. And somebody had the audacity to sit up here and say what I ain't. Well, baby, I know what I am. And I am a whole lot of things that a lot of folks would like to be. Oh, Prime, preach. You better preach. I'm going on there.
In Montgomery, Alabama, I'm Rob J. for the JSU Sports Network.
So there's that. There's a lot there. So, again, y'all give me your thoughts on that. I know a couple people tried to call. You can try to call now and get on back in here. But I wanted y'all to see the full context before you call and hear all that stuff. I want everybody to actually hear what's going on, hear my explanation about it, so you can actually get a clear understanding of what's happening. Hopefully, y'all get more of a clear understanding of that situation. But I'm like this. When I look at this, and I know Deion is a bold personality. I know some might feel some type of way about his flashiness and him just kind of being who he is. That's who he is. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. I think the Alabama State head coach, Eddie Robinson Jr., was being an enormous crybaby. Enormous. Huge. One of the biggest babies I've ever seen in my life. And I hate to see this because these two HBCUs, going at it. It's a competitive game. It's your homecoming. But guess what? I don't care. Why should Deion care either? He's there to win. He ain't there to care if you're embarrassed or not. In any sport, pro, college, high school, football, basketball, hockey, whatever it is, if a team is winning and you can't stop them, you do not need to cry when they score on you. It's not like they had to ask you permission to score. It's a game. It's a competition. And according to Deion, he had his backup quarterback in the game that doesn't play that much. And according to Deion, Alabama State was blitzing him, and they threw it and scored a touchdown. And again, when I saw the final score, it said, what, 26-16? It's not a blowout. This is what the guy in the video said. Now, as he said the score wrong. In what world is a team scoring when they're, say, if they hit the extra point, the score had to be 19-16. And they scored a late touchdown to extend it to 26-16. No, look, I know people want to get on Deion for being boisterous, to being a big personality and all that stuff. Forget all that. Stop being a crybaby. Period. And, people don't need, Deion don't need people like me to defend him, but just right is right. And I saw a lot of, folks kind of jumping on Deion, say he shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did that. Look, nothing I saw when I evaluated the situation, nothing I saw was wrong with that. Here's Bob said maybe he wanted to slow dance with Deion. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. He's talking about, this coach, imagine a coach saying this. This coach is saying before the game, Deion didn't come up to me. He didn't come up to me before the game. And he said, and that's fine. Whenever you hear somebody say, that's fine. That's fine. Most of the time. Not all the time. Most of the time. It ain't fine to them. They upset. They're behind hurt. And he wanted an interaction. And I agree that it's not his job to go seek him out. Go running around the stadium looking for the coach to say how you doing and stuff like that. Now, if he chooses to do that, fine. And, all this stuff about who's swag and who's not, this is the petty stuff I don't like, man. Come on now. For all that, and I'm not saying the coaches need to bow down and kiss Deion's rings and chains. I'm not saying that. Because you're in it to win, period. I know I wouldn't. I don't care who Deion Sanders is. I'm not there to beat him. But I'm not saying do that. But what I'm saying is don't go the opposite way and be a crybaby because you lost. You know what I'm saying? Be a crybaby because he didn't come talk to you and hug you, and rub your head or whatever. I just don't understand. It's like a bitter girlfriend. It's just not, it doesn't seem necessary to me. Y'all give me your thoughts on this. Was Deion wrong for the way he responded? Was the coach of Alabama State right? And how does this look as a whole for HBCUs? I don't think, in my opinion, it should look any type of way as a whole because these are two coaches having a disagreement. It shouldn't shed any light, in my opinion, on black coaches or black colleges. It's just a kind of unfortunate situation that happens in sports sometimes. You look at these white coaches blended. This has happened several times this year, nearly getting into fights, pro and college. So to me, this is no different. This is actually less serious than some other situations I've seen over the past few weeks. But again, when I say how they do us as black folks, the way they're kind of trying to paint this situation, I'm not a fan of. You know what I mean? Especially with Deion, with the job he's doing, almost trying to say this is overshadowing the great job he's doing at Jackson State and the great job he's doing for these other HBCUs. One thing I will give Deion credit for, he went to, I remember in the offseason seeing these videos. And Deion's got a lot of resources and a lot of money. He took his resources, his cameras, his crew down to Mississippi Valley State, which was another HBCU. He went down there and toured their facilities and went to fight for them to get a better practice field. He demanded that the university put more funds into their football program, get them a new facility, went to the state to help them try to get money for new facilities. He's done it for several schools that are in their conference. When have you ever seen that happen? I've never seen a coach go out of his way to help other schools like Deion has. And I think, seeing this go down is unfortunate. It kind of is what it is. But here's one more thing. Shout out to Vidal says big nothing burger that got blown up. Exactly. But it's the reason why I'm pointing it out to show you how they do things. Now, there's one more thing. Let me get on to some other stuff here that caught my attention. There was a video floating around on Twitter, thousands of retweets, stuff like that. And it was allegedly of Deion Sanders disrespecting a reporter. Okay. And make sure I got the right one. Okay. This is allegedly of Deion Sanders disrespecting a Jackson State reporter who is legendary in the area, this man right here. And a lot of people were talking about, see, this is why Deion isn't this or isn't that, and it's completely unnecessary, all of that stuff. So I want y'all to take a look at this, and then I'm going to show you the reality of this situation. All right, watch this.
Now is Jackson State head football coach, Coach Prime. Coach, how you feeling today?
No, straight up.
I always ask you how you feeling.
You was not talking like that just 2 minutes ago.
Can
you do the interview? Can you come in like you normally sound?
I just want to be clear and concise.
And professional?
Yes, sir.
So being you is not professional?
Well, I mean, I can't say it was a co. I can't do that.
I ain't asked you to do that. I just want you to be you.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Let me start over.
Right.
All right. Joining me is Jackson State Coach Prime. Is that the same?
Dog, it's the same. Like, just be you. Just try your best to be you.
Okay. All right. I thought I was doing that. But anyway, I want to just ask you, you feeling okay?
See, like if I say, man, what's up, Rob J? That's me. What's up, Rob J? You know the difference? Did you see the difference? That's what you do. And I don't know who you trying to please out there, but I just want you to try your best to be you.
All right. How you feeling today?
Much better. I feel good. I feel good.
All right, so you see that, and a lot of people took that, and it's been put out everywhere on Twitter, right? And people say, "Man, Deion, is a jerk. He's a terrible human being. How dare he treat this guy Rob J, who's a legendary reporter in the Jackson State area, like this with this level of disrespect? This is why Prime ain't gonna get no big time job. This is why this, that, and the other. His ego's inflated. He's a terrible human being. All sorts. It's a lot of worse things that I can't say that I've seen in relation to this video. They did a little research, and I'm gonna show you another video from this week, and I think this actually came out today between these same two guys. Okay. Let me show y'all how perception works. Look at this.
I got you something too, Co. I got you something.
Last week was bad, dog.
Last week was bad.
I looked at it like a few days ago and I started laughing.
But you saw Super Bowl champs won Monday night, didn't you? You saw the Super Bowl champs. I mean, on Sunday night. So, okay, I know. But Ed, get my bag. Get my bag. No. It had the Chiefs on it.
Yeah, but still,
so you can remember. Look what I got you, Co. And I know you like pictures. This is a good one right here, Co.
So you got somebody else in on it?
Yeah.
So you in on it?
No, he don't know. No,
you just got the bag.
Yeah.
So how do you know that was his bag? Because it looked. What?
No, we the same fraternity.
Oh, what was that? What fraternity?
Kappa Alpha Psi till the day I die. I don't know why do you keep asking me these questions?
I don't know you're a Kappa, man. I don't know nothing about the fraternity. I was me, five me.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me just say this to you.
I can't go on my bag.
What I'm just gonna say. This.
I know you borrowed the bag from somebody, but you don't never get your own stuff. You borrowed the bag. You put the gift in there.
Because this right here.
Don't when I talk, the mic's supposed to be over here. I'm just saying. I did this for a long time. I just know the mic's supposed to be over here.
I never can ask a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, but this is you like pictures and you're having a great season, and this will let you just take.
That's a horrible setup. But
okay, but anyway, you will remember this season with this.
It's gonna be something.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
No, is it just heavy?
Oh, wait, let me take the tag off.
Like
let me take the tag off. I didn't see. Wait.
Hold on. You're right. What you said earlier? I never.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
So the tag got Goodwill on it. Got it for $4. The reason I show all this is because that's how they joke with each other all the time. I found out. That's what they do with each other all the time, every week. It's a weekly thing. They're good friends. They talk like that to each other. But perception is reality to some people. And you see how they do people that they don't like. You take a clip, you post it everywhere about Deion being disrespectful to try to smear the man's image for whatever reason without the full context. You see how that could change the whole image of a person in a situation when they want to. A black man that's a head coach of a university trying to make a difference. And people want to go out of their way to intentionally smear, to intentionally mislead people about a situation between two people. For people that aren't informed about it, aren't willing to go the lengths that I did to find out more about the situation. I believe this deserves a spotlight to show how the media, some media, can be when it comes to black head coaches in these situations. Now, y'all may agree or disagree, but I feel like this is a prime example. That second video I showed clearly how their relationship is. And it was funny, but the point of it is how people can turn something from this into something else. And how people can make assumptions out of a situation that you don't know anything about. And I think anybody, no matter who you are, you have to be careful of that. So again, that was my whole point of bringing that whole thing up. So y'all can take that for what it is. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And that was pretty funny as well to see that whole thing. So that is that. Now, let's go to something that I know a lot of people want to talk about. And no, it's not Memphis, East Carolina. Look, y'all can bring up that if you want to. Okay, I'm going to say this. How many of y'all realistically are looking forward to Memphis versus East Carolina? And I said, Jet, this come. I did not see the call. This thing does not want to ring. And I'm going to do this. Go ahead, hit him if I see you just called. So, unlike some, we will return calls. Yo, Jet.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, this is the show that actually calls folks back.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked when I looked at how it saw the number. I was wondering what was interrupting my stream while the stream stopped. I'm going to be real quick. I don't know if you moved on, but I'll try to catch you while you still talk about Deion and all that. I don't think Deion was wrong for his. I don't think any of that was as bad as people tried to make it seem. Like you said, I don't want to put that on black coaches, but I think as black coaches, what they should do is come together and use that. Kind of what Deion is trying to do with all his antics leading up to it. Now, I don't blame Robinson either, right? Because if I don't know what you're doing or I ain't with that and you're just embarrassing me, then I'm going to feel some kind of way too. So I'm not blaming him. His reaction was a reaction. That's what you get when you do what Deion did. Mm-hmm. But either way, it wasn't bad in the heat of the game. Both of them competitive. Hey, I ain't going to dap you up. Like you said, I ain't going to give you the Obama bro hug or nothing. Yeah. I shook your hand. That's what's customary. I did that. And let's move on. But the question I want to get to is because what got me about this whole thing going around is what is swag, right? Who is swag? Who is swag, right? And I've seen a lot of debate on Facebook, and then when somebody like myself chime in, it's like you didn't graduate from an HBCU. You can't even talk about this, yada yada yada, because we know you ain't swag, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, so what is swag then, right? Is Deion swag, right? Yeah, and I wish I had your HBCUs on there because they taking it to heart. Is Deion swag? So if Deion ain't swag, then is Eddie Robinson swag, right? Because he didn't play for a swag school.
No, he didn't.
But he coached that one.
Yeah.
So Deion is coaching that swag school. Now Eddie Robinson played for a HBC. I don't know if it was just a black college. It wasn't never really accredited, but I mean it was so long ago. A lot of black schools weren't accredited yet.
Yeah,
you know. But I forgot the name of it, Leland College or something like that. Those are all black schools. Well, it was a founded black college, but it always accepted all races. It never did just like only black people. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's Eddie Robinson swag. Now we all know he swag. He swag to death, right?
Yeah.
and so you know, and so I'm tripping. These people are saying that Deion ain't swag because he went to Florida State, even though he started out at a black college, but he left, right? He left a black college and went to Florida State. So, you know, is he swag and all that? So I found that the most interesting topic that came out of this whole little thing.
Yeah, you know.
And so I'm hoping.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Like, I don't know if it, like, to me, I get it. Like, who's swag? Like, does it matter? You know, like, I know Deion's like, if I ain't swag, who's swag? Who's swag if I ain't swag?
Yeah.
You know? But look, like, now,
I love that little remix video. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. And like, did you see? Because Deion, in his fashion, he done got a hoodie with who is swag.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And,
yeah.
And him and the players were dancing.
Yeah, he gonna use everything.
Yeah, I love it. I ain't gonna lie. So
I love it. Yeah.
And look, the cool thing about it is create a rivalry. As long as Deion sticks around, that's a rivalry there, and I think that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is.
That's what I think. And I think Eddie Robinson Jr. should back off of it and use it too. Right? He don't have to apologize. He didn't do nothing wrong, but just keep going with it. But Deion is treating it like wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And he's building the audience with it. You know.
And that's what
you know. He's gonna do whatever.
And that's the goal. I think people forget it, man. That's why he went there, to bring attention. He even said it off top. Bring attention to all these schools, one way or another. And who else? Let's say the same situation happens with two other coaches prior to Deion not being involved. This would not be on SportsCenter. This would not be discussed on First Take and Undisputed, the biggest sports shows in the world all day. That matters. That matters.
Yep, that matters. Yep, it does. And Deion and even Robinson know what he's doing. He just wasn't with him being on the other end of it, right? But you guys, if you love it, then you just gotta love it and roll with it.
Exactly.
Right? He admitted what he's doing for the conference, what he's doing for HBCU football is awesome, right? And then really HBCU sports in general, because you're starting to see black basketball players go to HBCUs now. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And that's all off the back of what Deion got going on. You know. So I'm like, he should just roll with it too, and just use it. If you don't like Deion's antics, then you know, but you like the football conference, you like the schools, you know. So just roll with it, man, and use it because it's working. He gonna eat off of it, right?
Yep.
You know.
So I'm gonna ask you this last question: is what if Deion leaves? Because you hear the rumors. You know, I don't know how legit they are. You know, people just kind of looking at realistic spots that he might. I ain't heard that he's looking at anything, but you know, people bring up Georgia Tech because of Atlanta. People bring up Auburn and that connection. Even Florida State, depending on what happened with Mike Norvell. What do you think? And how would you feel if he did leave?
Man, I was talking to a Jackson State. That's why I got into this who is swag and who could talk about it conversation with a Jackson State alum just yesterday. And it would be messed up if he left. Yeah. But you can't hate on him because everybody does it, right? Yeah. It's this whole I gotta feed my family thing, even though you're rich, right? But you can't tell no man not to make more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's tough to do. Yeah. He shouldn't with the way he's moving, right? Because you don't come in and kick up all this dust and get all these power conferences and these big wigs, man. That's the deal. You take off, right? And you're the richest one out the bunch anyway to begin with. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay and fight. If you create the fight, you got to stay and you should stay and fight. Let me say that. Yeah. But like I told him, I was like, man, I want to say he won, and it'd be a good look if he didn't. But I think Florida State, USC come calling, he gone. Now he'll probably shoot some money back to him. You know, it's kind of like, oh, he could do what Penny doing. You know, Penny's taking a lot less money to, you know, be around the Memphis program and do his thing. You know, and I heard some other talk show pundits talking about all these different coaches who make more than Penny and how that's a bad look. And I'm like, yeah, whoever they mentioned that Wichita State Southeastern make more than Penny. I don't know if that's the name of the school or something like that. I thought, yeah, but in 2 years that coach gonna be gone, right? Penny gonna make this. Penny gonna make this $6 million for 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
you know, or it'll be more than that by then. But he ain't going nowhere unless he want to go.
Exactly. See, I don't understand. Sometimes people create. And I know that's the whole thing of media, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, but you create a problem. Like, what? Why Penny ain't making more money? You know, like, man, look. And then if he makes more, like, why he making so much money? So
the same ones that hating on him for anything that go wrong, anything that they believe out of pocket, they hating on him, and all they need is for him to be making $10 million a year. You know, like, he's paying them all this money. The school can't afford it. The school's having a hard time because of him. They put it all on him.
Exactly.
You know,
just a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
Man. Look, the man, he knows he's giving them a discount. He knows it, and he just wants to build the program. So anyway, but I think he made a lot of good points, man. I appreciate the call, Jet. Great stuff, man.
I appreciate you, man. All right,
all right, Jet. Good stuff, man. As always, with some good points. And I'm curious, before we move on, how would y'all feel if Deion decides to leave Jackson State? You feel like it's within his right, which we know it's obviously within his right to do whatever he wants. But is it the right thing to do? To me, I would feel some type of way if he did leave Jackson State. I really would. I really would. I'll be like, why? What purpose? You know, maybe to prove that you can coach at the highest level. I understand that, but to me, I don't really feel like he has nothing to prove. If anything, accomplishing what he's accomplishing on this level is more challenging, in my opinion. You go to a big school like USC or Florida State, like, yeah, you're going to have success. They already have the money and the resources to be successful without you. Then you come with your name. It's almost unfair. I don't know how fulfilling that would be, like it would be picking up this whole HBCU situation from the ground and making it into something relevant. I don't know. But again, it's up to him. So we shall see. But I can't act like I wouldn't feel some type of way negatively, because I would. I really would. So y'all let me know what you think about that as well. But I brought up the Memphis game, and I got a couple of answers from Verdell here. He said he is interested in the East Carolina-Memphis game because he wants to see what the response is from the team after that debacle of a loss, where the Tigers were in control for the majority of the game. We all know what ended up happening. I replayed it for y'all last Sunday, the ending of that game, where Memphis ended up losing in the last 5 minutes, essentially, of the game. To me, I'm going to say this. When it comes to Memphis, Ryan Silverfield and the football program, I don't think Ryan Silverfield's a bad guy. I don't think, he's a terrible human being or anything like that. I just don't think he's the coach we need right now. The Tiger football program is at a crucial point. And I said this before. I've said this the past few weeks. And if you follow the program, you know. This is crucial. Conference realignment, the way the AAC is going to change after this season, the teams that are coming in, the teams that are leaving. Memphis is going to be left behind. And you got a program that is losing some momentum with the fan base, with being relevant, with attention. And again, I want to point out that the announced attendance in the last Liberty Bowl's game was around 23,000 people in a 60,000 seat stadium. against a rival in Houston that was on ESPN. That's not good. And the on-the-field product is getting worse, despite the talent getting better. So I think it's simple math. You add good talent plus bad coaching equals a bad result. The talent increases, but the results decrease. But yet you're saying we need to stick around with what we got and be patient. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Talent increase, results decrease. We need to keep the coach? No. No. It makes no sense. Attendance going down, results going down, talent going up. What good is the talent going up going to do if the results get worse? And here's another problem. If you keep getting worse for too long, the talent's going to go down because they're going to leave. They're going to leave, and they're not going to want to come here. I don't care how nice Ryan Silverfield seems to be in these recruiting visits because he keeps getting players. Not going to deny that. But one, that's because of the program that's been built prior to him. And two, maybe some of it has to do with his personality. But you can have all the personality in the world. If the team sucks and you're losing all day, nobody's going to want to come there. Now, I know they're 4-2. Some people say maybe I'm overreacting. You can say what you want. But when you look at the results on the field, even in wins, they're not getting any better. They should be better than this. Look, this is not ground zero that Larry Porter and Justin Fuente had to deal with. Larry Porter really had ground zero after Tommy West quit and told everybody that you need to shut the program down if you're not going to put any money into it. Larry Porter tried to build a little something. Fuente came in and started the process. That is where I can understand struggling in the simple things that they struggle with. But you're on the back of Fuente and Norvell. You're on the back of the Cotton Bowl. You're on the back of winning AAC title. You're on the back of being ranked in the top 15 multiple times. You're on the back of actually winning multiple top 25 games against top 25 opponents. You're on the back of College Game Day coming to Memphis. You're on the back of being on ABC prime time. You're on the back of all of that. So there's no excuses. It's not an acclamation. No. The standards need to be higher from the fans. And I think the fans are showing that they have high standards by not going to the games. And at a certain point, the program and Laird Veach, the athletic director, the president of the University of Memphis, all these guys are going to have to sit and look. We're losing money. We're paying Silverfield this and all these guys, the coaching staff. We got new facilities. They got a new indoor football facility. They got a new locker room. They got new everything. New weight room, all that stuff. They spent money on the football program. They don't spend that money to be mediocre and to not be relevant. And right now, they're not relevant. They're just not. That's part of a coach. That's part of being a coach nowadays, is at least being relevant. And they're not that. Not in the eyes of Memphians. You know what Memphians are thinking about in sports? They're thinking about John Morant at the FedEx Forum with the way tickets are selling. Did you see the preseason games at FedEx Forum? It looked like there were more people at the preseason games. There were more people at the open practice at FedEx Forum than it seemed like that was at the Liberty Bowl. Now, I'm being facetious, but I ain't never seen that many people at the open practice. I ain't never heard that much excitement during the Grizzlies preseason games before. There's something happening. And the ticket prices are going up at FedEx Forum. Everything I've heard, they've gone up quite a bit because they know they're coming to see a premium product now. They're coming to seeing a guy, John Morant, who's a top 5 draw meaning attention getter, in the NBA. A guy a lot of people say is the future face of the league. So that's what you're dealing with competition-wise when you're the Memphis football team. That's great for the Grizzlies, Vicky. That's right. They're loving this. They're loving this, and that's a great thing. You're dealing with Tiger basketball. The Tigers coming off a second-round bid in the NCAA tournament, coming this close to beating the number 1 overall seed in Gonzaga. Heightened expectations, a new style that Penny Hardaway's put together for this team. You know, the excitement of Penny Hardaway, period, being there, let alone the guys he's bringing in to the basketball program, let alone the coaching staff he's built. There's excitement there, too. There's more excitement there than the football field. And people could say, well, Memphis is not big on football. They were big on football when Norvell was here and Fuente was here. They were selling out that Liberty Bowl. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So for people that want to criticize people that criticize Ryan Silverfield, I give you this argument. And I don't think you can argue with it. Riddell says people see the writing on the wall with the coach. That's why he didn't get an extension. Great point. I believe this is the last year of his deal. They may not fire him unless something really bad happens. They may just let him ride it out into the sunset. But as it stands right now, I think the university is smart enough to know when they need a breath of fresh air before it gets too bad. Because they're at a point right now, they still got a lot of talent. And they can, if they get rid of him now, they can regroup. You know, they're at a point where I still think they can regroup this and get it back together. But they need to make the right hire after Silverfield. So we'll see what happens there. But that's the seriousness of the matter. And speaking of seriousness, last thing I want to talk about on today. A lot of serious stuff we talked about today. None more serious than this matchup right here. You got the Tennessee Vols and the Alabama Crimson Tide going head-to-head. Now, I know many of y'all that know the history of this game may wonder, why in the world do you care about the Vols and the Alabama? I care because I grew up a Tennessee Vols fan, even before I was a Tiger fan, to be honest. And, you know, the Philip days, y'all know the story. T. Martin, Peyton Manning, Travis Henry, Casey Clausen, Dante Stallworth, Jason Witten, Albert Hainsworth. I can name so many old Vols, man. Travis Stevens, running back. Robert Swain, wide receiver. So many guys through the era of when they were really good, 90s, late 90s into the 2000s. But at this point, it looks like it's finally at a point. Yeah, thank you, Stanley. It looks like it's finally at a point where the turnaround is actually happening. You got a Vols team that's in the top 10. And this is, I think, the biggest proving ground you could possibly have. There you go. You got the picture up on the screen. Josh Heupel, Nick Saban. What's going to happen? Josh Heupel's second year as Vols coach has got them in the top 10 in the country. Some have them top 5. Some got them number 6, whatever the case is, number 8. Alabama's number 3 in the country right now. Georgia's number 1 in the country. Alabama fell a little bit after the close game to Texas A&M, who's unranked. A lot of questions coming into this game. Alabama's quarterback, Heisman Trophy candidate, is questionable for the game. They say he's a game-time decision. So basically, Nick Saban's keeping it close to the vest. He's not going to announce whether their quarterback's going to play or not until kickoff. So I think that's smart on his side of things. But again, this is going to be in Knoxville, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Y'all let me know how you feeling about this game. Do you care one way or the other? Do you think it's going to go the way it has been? Because I found this out. Over the past 15 years, 15 years Nick Saban's been in Alabama. Nick Saban is 15-0 against Tennessee over the last 15 years. 15-0 against Tennessee. There's got to come a point where this ends. It's got to come. It's got to. Doesn't it? Does this not feel like the time is right? After Tennessee comes off of destroying LSU last week, a top 25 LSU team in Death Valley, in LSU, 40-13, seemingly proving that the Vols are for real. But this is the ultimate test. You got Bob in the comments saying he's going to cry because he doesn't know what to do. Bob has been waiting on Tennessee to be good for a long time. Now they are, and they're coming up against his other favorite team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. He doesn't know how to feel. 901-213-6020. You want to talk about anything I've talked about, including this game right here. Bob needs help. He says he's for both. He don't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. Here it is. I'll put it on the screen for you. He says, I'm a fan of both. 901-213-6020. He tells you to call from the comments. Someone help me. I don't know what to do. And also, I'm going to cry. So hopefully GKP doesn't see you saying you're going to cry, because I feel like he'll call right back in with something to say. Verdell says, I hope they both lose. Oh, Verdell. Oh, the pain. The pain. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a good game. I am rooting for Tennessee all day. I don't really root for Bama at all. At all. Never. Never. I was rooting for Texas A&M. You know, it came down to the last play last week. So, I don't know. Stanley says, the Stars will not line up for the UT Turds tomorrow. Oh, my goodness. The venom, the hatred of the Volunteers is palpable, using the big word there. But I feel you, Stanley. I feel you. The UT Turds. I know you called them that last week. Turds. Whenever you call somebody a turd, that means you really don't like them. A turd is a horrible word. Good grief. But again, 901-213-6020. Got a little bit of time. Might take another call or so, depending on how things go here. But quick reminder also, let me see. Let me read this one. Frankie says he's starting. Her older daughter went to UT, and I went to several games during her 4 years there. This is the best team they've had in many years. She said, I usually pull for Alabama. This is the best time for UT to knock off the GOAT. GOAT meaning greatest of all time in Nick Saban. Frankie also says he's starting. So, okay. Yeah, I think he's starting too. I heard it was a game time decision, but I think Young is going to start. The quarterback for Alabama. This is a game. You better believe Nick Saban had this. You know, he may not say he has games circled, but you better believe. This used to be a rivalry a long time ago. Alabama ended that rivalry by constantly destroying the Volunteers up until last year. Last year, with his depleted roster, this is why I say about coaching. Again, coaching matters. Tennessee lost 35 scholarship players last year when they got rid of the previous coach, Jeremy Pruitt, hired Josh Heupel. They were undermanned and had that good season they had. They were undermanned and were right there with Alabama through 3 quarters in Alabama. Now they have an even better team with more experience. What's going to happen? Bob says, I'm going to predict the winner. Okay. When? You going to do it now? You going to call it? What you want to do? We'll see. He says he's going to predict the winner, so we'll see, man. But it's, again, big stuff. I cannot wait. Tennessee versus Alabama this weekend. Tomorrow. I say this weekend. It's tomorrow. The game is tomorrow. Goodness gracious. The game is tomorrow. And it's at 2:30. 2:30 Central Time on CBS. Alabama 6-0, 3-0 in the SEC. Tennessee 5-0, 2-0 in the SEC. So, man. Bryce Young, game time decision. I'm still looking around, seeing if there's any updates. I cannot wait. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes to see if we get a prediction from Bob. I don't know. He may do it tomorrow. Who knows? Frankie says if Alabama doesn't get a big lead early, UT will win at the end, even if it's with the refs' help. We'll see. And that's the thing you always got to watch out for with Alabama. They come out. They want to come out and hit you in the mouth early. Kill your confidence. Kill your confidence early. Physicality, big plays. They're going to try to do that right off the bat to get that crowd noise down in Tennessee. They're expecting an orange out, meaning the whole crowd wearing orange. They had the checkerboards against, I think it was against Florida the other week. But this week they're going with the orange, all orange everything in Neyland Stadium. So we'll see. Verdell says, I can't roll with the roll turds or the volunteers. Oh, man. Y'all just throwing the word turd around. Oh, that is terrible. That's a word that stinks when you say it. It feels like it stinks coming out of your mouth, the word turd. You know what I'm saying? That's rough. Stanley says, I will not be pulling for UT, but they need to win this game. I agree. And if Tennessee does win this game, that puts them right in the national title hunt. And who would have thought that coming into the season? Tennessee in the national title category. And Hendon Hooker, one of my favorite quarterbacks. I am a big fan of Hendon Hooker. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the country. And I think he should be a Heisman candidate. You better believe this game is going to go a long way in whether he's taken seriously for the Heisman or not. So, whole lot of stakes in this game. Whole lot of scouts going to be watching. Whole lot on the line. One of the biggest games you'll find this season in college football. So I am looking forward to that. All right, y'all. Well, that's going to just about do it for me on today. I'm going to pick Tennessee. My official prediction, I'm picking Tennessee to win. I'll say Tennessee 31, Alabama 27. That's my prediction for the final score, 31-27 Tennessee. Tennessee scores a lot of points. They could score more than that because they're a high-scoring team. But I'll just say 31-27 as of right now. But we shall see. Bob says, let's see, I'm going to put this on the screen here. The team that come out in the first with aggression and dominate at the beginning will win. Verdell says it does stink just like those teams. Oh, man. See, look at this. Look at this. Verdell says his prediction is Memphis 38-31. I'm guessing over East Carolina. Okay. We'll go with that. I'm going to be checking out Memphis too. I want them to bounce back. I do. I want them to bounce back. But a loss like that against Houston, that can kill you. That can kill a season. That can kill a coach as far as his job is concerned. And that could really hurt you going forward. So, but nonetheless, we'll see. That's going to do it for me on tonight, man. I appreciate all of y'all tuning in, watching, and listening to Talk Sports Live on this evening. Appreciate that. Still share this video, like it as well, even after it's over, for y'all that want to check it out afterwards. That's going to do it for me. I'm Josh Midgett. I will see y'all tomorrow. Oh, don't forget, tomorrow, 11 a.m., Bluff City Wrestling will be live on the CW30 network. Me and Bob on commentary with Memphis Mike. Be sure y'all check that out. Episode number 2. It did not air last week, but it will be back on this week. Check it out. Bluff City Wrestling, episode 2 on the CW30 network. Me and Bob calling all the action And we'll be live at 1 o'clock here on Talkback Live Network for the All Action and No Bluff podcast post show for Bluff City Wrestling. So be sure y'all check that out as well. But that's going to do it for us on today. We'll see y'all next week, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, actually. So y'all stay safe and bye-bye.
Go hard, 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 go hard. Let's go, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Let's go, let's get it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with it? Yeah, we with it. Big time players make big time plays. 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 Go hard, 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 go hard. Cause big time players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. Gotta get it in a big time way. Let's get it on the grind, head on the line. Gotta stay focused, gotta keep a sound mind. It's go hard or go home. Go long and go strong. Don't back down or give in. When it's tough, that's when we press on. Gotta dig deep, gotta dig in. Hunger for the victory, hunger for the win. Ready to make a play, let's get it in. Swag on point, yeah, swag on 10. It's go time, it's show time, it's my time, in my town. Big time players make big time plays. Let's believe it's about to go down.
For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the soul food you have tasted in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.